Hello, Australia. My name is Glen James. We are coming to you live from the Fincon conference in Portland, Oregon. We are recording this on Thursday, the 11th of September. And I'm here with John Pidgeon and Rachelle Kroon from the This Is Property podcast. Welcome.
Thank you, Glenn. What a pleasure.
What a great place to be.
Yeah, are you enjoying it?
I am. It is great.
So, look, this is my fifth Fincon conference. If you are new to our podcast, this is a financial creators conference. So it's about 1,400 delegates who create content online. And I particularly would put a lot of the learnings of Fincon in the early years into the success of the money podcast that we do and you know, effectively making money online. So that's just a bit of background.
Would you be an OG of the Fincon?
No. It's been going for 15 years and I've been to 5 conferences.
I remember when you went off to your first FinCon.
Yeah. Back in 2017, my first podcast, Sort Your Money Out, I recorded at Fincon. Since deleted the podcast, it sucked. And that's when we started My Millennial Money after that, the year after.
So when you first went to your first FinCon, did you feel as though, wow, there's a big wide world out here? Or it's like, oh, I'm doing some things that they're doing as well? Like, was it groundbreaking?
No, I knew that I always wanted an online business. And I knew that I always wanted to not trade my time for money. And I just didn't know what that would be. I've actually had an Instagram account for pets. I called it Pet Love Official. I think it's up. It's like dwindling away. And I wanted to, lean into doing some like online website for pet supplies and stuff like that. I just wanted an online business. But then at the first FinCon, I went to a session, and one of the sessions, this guy was speaking, saying that he makes $60,000 a month online. And that's just like blows my mind. And I'm like, I was like deflated that, you could earn that much online. And, and it's a good example for anyone who wants to start something, particularly a business. And we do have the This Is Business podcast, but you just have to start. You just have to start. Just have a bit of a long game plan. And you fast forward now, if I'm not doing 60K a month, there's something wrong. So it is possible.
Which 8 years ago would have been a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
Online.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and 8 years ago when you came back from FinCon talking about podcasts, I remember I had never listened to a podcast.
Yeah.
It was just such a wild concept for me.
Absolutely. So, Look, that's what we're doing. We might share some other thoughts about the conference later in the episode. And particularly, I might even record, we won't do it here, Luke. Luke's from Grapefruit Creative. He's flown up with us to shoot, to help, because we're effectively a YouTube show now, and we are growing that. So Luke will do that later, and we'll add it as a bit of an after party to this episode. But I'll explain to everyone, because when I got the visa for the US, I put it on my Instagram. There was lots of questions about it. Well, let me tell you as a teaser, there was 1 or 3 little issues. 4.5 hours later, I got into the US, and we might tell that story in the after party.
Yes.
It was baggage with it as well.
Yeah, there was a bit of baggage.
It was crazy. So might not have made it here. So we'll do that in the after party. All right, let's have a look at questions, and we'll load them up, and we'll get into this podcast right now. Before we get into it, this show is general advice only, and I've got a license to provide that advice. Full details can be found in the show notes. I'm a former financial advisor. Now I do the Money, Money, Money podcast. If you're a regular here, we call it M3, and we do a podcast called Retire Right. I've got a book, The Quick Start Guide to Investing, is available wherever good books are sold. There's a link in the show notes if you want to turn up your investing to 11, or if you're just getting started. Let's get into it. Thank you so much for being here today. Okay, John, what did Kat say in the Facebook group?
Kat said, "Hi everyone, looking for a bit of advice from anyone who's been through a separation and the process of buying the other person out of a joint property, PPOR. My partner and I have just split, and I would like to hopefully buy him out of our property. We've had a real estate come out to do an appraisal, but it wasn't a clear price, more of an idea of where they'd recommend starting the offers over listing price and a sales pitch. I plan to get another couple of agents through to do appraisals and evaluation done, but is there anything else I should do or consider? I'd like to be fair in regard to the price we agree on. It's a 50-50 split. That's very amicable, but also mindful of real estate agents possibly coming in with inflated prices if they think they'll get the listing. We are North Brisbane for reference. Any tips or suggestions would be much appreciated. First time in this situation, and I also never sold a property before. Thank you.
Okay, I might throw to Rach. There's a couple of moving parts here, isn't it? It's like the first time I've sold a property, which is a big thing.
Yeah.
But also there is a huge life event in the background, a separation. And I've not been through a separation and had to sell a property and all that. Rach, what are you saying to Kat?
Yeah, look, I saw this question in the Facebook group and it really sung out to me because I think a lot of your community may be heading to that point, or there might be some people that are thinking about.
Rach, our community. You're part of the money podcast world. You host the This Is Property podcast now.
Fincon's your initiation, right? You're in.
Gosh, part of our community.
Start again.
No, we keep it in the record. We don't edit podcasts anymore. We just have good content.
Well, I saw Kat's question.
And that's why Rach tagged me, everyone. If you saw Rach tag Glen James,
I did tag
I'm
you.
like, we'll talk about this on the show. So that's why.
I do think a lot of people are going to be coming up to this point, and I think for some people it can be really scary about what do I actually do when I'm separating. And I just wanted to reach out to Kat, and I think she's actually messaged me to say she's done this, but it's just your mortgage broker is actually the first point of call here, and for a couple of different reasons. Your mortgage broker can get these valuations done for you. And I think it's really important to note that, a bank valuation can be really important in these times. Sometimes it's really important to realize that real estate agents are property marketers and bank valuers are property valuers. So you want a real valuation. You don't want somebody coming in to compete for the price, hoping they're going to get a listing to try to tell you what that property's worth. You want a bank valuation, but your mortgage broker will be able to guide you through that. But they can also guide you through a few other things before you get to the legalities of separating, which is if you want to buy your partner out, you need to know, first of all, can you do that? Can you do that on your income? Can your partner use what he's getting in the separation to buy again? And I think everyone needs to know those things before they go through to the next stage.
If we are using this example just to kind of, and Cass, Kat, we may deviate from your exact question because it's just a really good discussion point. I just want to assume in this scenario that it is an amicable separation just for the sake of chatting, because in that instance, if it is amicable, both parties need to agree on a price. And if you're buying someone out, you probably want the bank vow, not the agent vow. Or do you go, we will get 3 agent vows and a bank vow and average everything out? What do we do?
Well, generally it's 2 bank valuations.
Right.
So, and I've probably gotten to the point where, I've got clients that we might have done their first home for, and then they've separated, and then they've done the buyout finance.
People might not be able to hear it. Right behind us, old mates having a good old chat.
Their next loans with their next partners. So I just think that journey that you've gone on with so many people, when it's amicable, it's different. So if you know it's a 50-50 split, you can go to your lawyer, because it was probably still going to have to go through and get stamped, but you can go through and have those things, what you're dealing with. Can I get approval? Can I get a valuation? What's the value of the property? Before you're going to a lawyer to say, here's what we've agreed on. Can you sign this off for us? Because it is important to have it signed off legally, because you still need to get stamp duty concessions and all of those sorts of orders in place.
Yeah, and that's really important. Because you would go to your lawyer to buy someone out, because as you said, Rach, moving that title, you don't have to pay half of the property in stamp duty because you're buying 50% of the property.
But if you did that without those particular legal orders in place, you may be subject to stamp duty. So you need a lawyer, even if it's completely amicable, you do need a lawyer. But I guess if it wasn't amicable, or if you didn't understand what that split would be, it's sometimes worthwhile to reach out to a lawyer and get a little bit of advice. Just because you reach out and talk to a lawyer doesn't mean you have to go to court or have a legal dispute. You just want to understand what you're dealing with before you start. But yeah, my big advice to Kat, it was definitely to go to her mortgage broker, get those valuations done rather than real estates, and understand if you can borrow and if your partner can borrow before you go to that lawyer and get that all finalised.
Okay. So if I am Kat's partner and we're separating and Kat wants to buy me out, let's just assume that the property, we'll call it $1 million, right?
Yeah.
Forget the debt on it at the moment. I obviously want a reasonable buyout. So it has to be, so it's in my interest to get a higher valuation because I'm selling higher, but it's also in the I'm the seller, sorry.
Yeah.
So it's in my interest to get a higher valuation, but it would be in Kat's interest to get a lower valuation. And we know that bank valuations would usually be maybe 20% lower than an agent walking in the door and saying this is the current market valuation. So the question is, and that's why I was talking about mechanisms.
Yeah.
Do we say we'll get 2 bank vals, we'll get 3 random agents? Because it just has to be an agreement. Like they could, and also in terms of, I don't know, separation parity, there could be a thing where he sells it to her for less, but there is some money in super that he will keep, or like, because it's not just black and white if there's other assets, right? It's a pool.
Yeah, so I was just reading this in the property thing, but obviously because before you agree to anything, you really need to understand the whole asset pool.
That's
and
right.
Really, that's where a lawyer comes in. But I just think before you go down that law road, it's nice to know, can I borrow and what's the property worth? Because then you can go to the lawyer with all that information.
Yeah. So if Kat called you, she's basically saying, hey, there's $1 million property here. I want to put it in my name. It would mean that I would end up with, I'll make a number up, $700,000 in debt. And can I actually service this loan?
Yeah, because what's the point of going through this whole process if A, you can't borrow that much on your own, or B, you actually don't want to service a debt of that size?
Or and this is where it really gets complicated fast, there could be some type of thing where it's like, one, the property would have to get sold completely if Kat couldn't service a mortgage. 2, there might need to be an agreement where, and this is where the lawyer really comes in, to say, I'm selling it for over to Kat, X amount, lower of whatever, so Kat can service the loan, assuming there's equity. But there may need to be some type of tenancy agreement put in that the moment this property sells, old mate then gets the rest of the money or something like that. Because remember with like wills and estates, the lifetime tenancy agreement?
Yes.
So for example, when my pop cheated on Nan with the grocer secretary, or the checkout chick at the grocery store or whatever, she kept the house and lived in it. And there was a lifetime tenancy agreement that she could live in that house for as long as she wants. But as soon as she died, then the house goes to the kids, or if she moves out, she keeps half of the value and the other half goes to my uncles and aunts and my dad.
Yeah.
So there could be some things there, and that's what I'd probably say. Reach out to Sphere Home Loans, Rach.
No, Kat has a mortgage broker.
Okay, cool.
But just reach out to your mortgage broker and work through it. But that would be
because that's
my
obviously
first
the
point
first step, isn't it?
It's the first step. Get the valuations done, understand your borrowing capacity and what you can do and your affordability. Because then when you're spending that hourly rate talking to a lawyer, you kind of understand, do I want to buy him out? Because you don't want to spend all that money talking to a lawyer if actually that's not the course of action we're going to take. So you look your mortgage broker first and then the lawyer.
Because I just kind of want to say, if you go back to your broker and you can't service, because I think Kat will be able to in this situation, just reading it. But if you can't service it, I just want to say there could be other solutions if there are other assets and equalization and potentially some type of tenancy agreement or something.
Yeah.
But that's the dance, isn't it? It's like, if it isn't amicable, I don't want to talk to this cockhead in 8 years when I sell the house. I want nothing to do with the guy.
Yeah. But I think the just coming in as a bit of a tennis net here with two tennis
while
players.
you do that, I'm going to go get some cough drops because I'm losing my voice.
the risk when Kat says 50-50, let's be honest, it's never 50-50.
Yeah.
Like it's 49-51 or it's
Yeah,
70-30
yeah.
or whatever. But for the sake of the conversation, the interesting part with separations is bank val versus real estate agents' appraisals.
Yeah.
And where that middle ground lies, and where, like, you almost want to get real estate agents, stay out of it. Bank val, let's get 3 of them and split the middle.
Even 3 of them. But I really get worried when I see people say, I'm getting the real estate agent
Yes.
to give me this advice.
Yeah.
And I work with a lot of real estate agents. I have a lot of respect for them. But what their job is to market a property.
Yeah.
They are not qualified to value a property. That's a
depends-
property valuer.
But that's the difference as well. Like, you get some agents, they'll blaze in going, we can get 1.2 for you, Cat, all day long. Sign them up. We reset expectations in 2 months. Look, the market's changed. We've got to bring it down, and you
Yeah.
might only get $1 million. And
Yeah.
they're already, like, it's just
Especially
ridiculous.
in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So I think it depends at which side of the fence you're on as to whether you want the val to be high or low. So if we're true 50-50, we're getting 3 bank vals, don't talk to real estate agents, and the middle of those 3 bank vals is the agreed price.
Yeah.
End of story.
But that's not fair for old mate who's selling it.
See, I think
Well, it
it
doesn't
is.
matter, it
I
is.
think a bank
No,
valuation.
because if we sold the bastard on market, it's going to do more than the
But
bank
it's-
val
but
anyway.
It's not certain the other way.
Yeah,
either.
I
That's
think a
not
bank
50-50.
val is a
Or-
fair
Like a real estate
valuation.
agent
Yeah.
puts 10% above because that's what they're legally allowed to do, or 9.5%.
Yeah.
And so, okay, now old mate's paid 10%
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah, it's
Like,
different in a
I
rising
think
market.
it's probably that dance as well. I might walk back some of my comments. Probably won't, but I will.
yeah, you should.
It's private sale anyway. So the real market doesn't mean anything.
Well, and this
Ish.
is like, sounds like Cat's at the very early stages.
Yeah.
And it's all roses at the minute. Well, not really roses, but it's the
Yeah.
separation's early. It can vary.
You're like a rose between 2 thorns right now, aren't you?
I am in the minute. They call me a net in the middle of a tennis court.
Yeah, good one.
So it can turn south or sour pretty quick because you're looking at a situation where you might get legal involved, you get real estate agent involved, you get mum, you get a cousin, you get the next door neighbour, and all of a sudden everyone's got their 2 cents worth. And it's like, no, it's worth $1 million. No, it's only worth $950.
And I probably would say it might be safer to only use bank vals because Cat can only borrow based on the bank val to service
100%.
anyway.
And real estate.
I'm just sticking up for old mate.
Real estate vals can
Oh,
go
yeah.
rogue.
I don't know.
Well,
They can go rogue.
Yeah.
A real estate agent might come in and think he's competing against 3 other agents. You want to be the highest, don't
I
you?
didn't tell you guys. I had a property valued 2 weeks ago at Snakehaven, 12 months after the last val last year. What do you reckon the percent increase or decrease?
15% increase.
What do you reckon?
in 12 months?
Yeah, Snakehaven.
Oh, no, I would go. Well, it sounds though it's going to be something big because he's mentioned it.
Oh, no, I was just shocked. And it's just a really good example
Of
markets
of the
and timings.
Of the increase, you mean?
Of the valuation. It's just a
valuation.
really good example.
Yeah. I would say 10% up.
Yeah. Negative 15% the
Wow.
year before. Now, this is an example. It's a townhouse.
Yeah.
It's a 3-2-1.
That surprises
Now,
me.
and this is, yes,
So what was
But
it based
doesn't-
on? Was it realistic comparables?
comparables in the area. So remember,
Same suburbs?
same, like everything. So remember, kids, doesn't property always go up in value? And this is why when we hold any assets,
Yeah.
we have to have it for the long term.
Yeah.
And I can maybe guarantee if I have a look myself online at sales in the next 6 months, 12 months, we'll send them back out there and there probably will be comparables and it might be
But
15 or 20%
I'd
more
be
than.
interested to see if you got 2 other bank vals, what they would say as well from
Yeah.
2 different valuation
Yeah.
firms, because it's not uncommon for there be a 10 to 20% difference in valuation.
And I've seen it where people disagree on the value, and the only way they will move forward is by a sale.
Yeah.
And I've also seen that sale come through at exactly what that bank valuation was.
And that that's sort of where I was alluding with Kat. Hopefully it doesn't have to get to this stage and they can get a resolution and it remains 50-50. But if all else fails, if no one can agree, we're going to market, and the market will tell us what it's worth.
Exactly.
And there's a 50-50.
And you can always
Get on
have
with
the
your life.
option. I've also seen couples go, we want to take it to auction. And then the person who wanted to buy out said, well, this is, and actually the market told you it's worth this. Now I've got the option to buy
Or
that.
potentially if it is amicable and the cat can't service for a reason, if it is amicable, hey, can we kick this can down the road for 12 months? I'll rent half of it off you, old mate.
Yeah.
So there's always a solution.
There's always solutions, but good luck with that, cat.
Good
Good luck, Kat. We are going to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
If you're after personal financial advice, don't get it from a podcast. But if you want guidance tailored to your situation, head to moneypodcast.com.au and click Get Help. We'll connect you with one of our trusted professionals, financial advisors and mortgage brokers, who work with people right across Australia. No matter where you are, they can help. Now, before we get back to the show, a quick reminder to protect your financial life. That means having income protection sorted. It means having death cover if there's any debt or dependents relying on you. It means getting your personal insurance in order. Most people insure their car, they insure their house, but what about themselves? Sky Wealth, who support this podcast, are specialist financial advisors who can help you get the right cover in place. Their advice is often more comprehensive and better value than going direct through your super. Book a complimentary 15-minute chat at sky.com.au. That's skye.com.au, and they'll point you in the right direction.
We've got 10 minutes left in this booth before we have to get the heck out of here. Shorter episode. Oh, no, there'll be longer because we'll do the after party later somewhere.
Yeah, so Davila says, hi money legends, new to this group, new to planning my money. I'm trying to get my wife on board with the money journey, listening to podcasts, etc. She is slow on the uptake. Sorry, I'm going to keep trying to go on. E.g., not really
I'm gonna
interested.
have to restrain Rachel.
I'm glad that there was an example.
I see why John wanted me to read this now.
She's not really
All right.
interested, is
All
the
right.
example.
A few questions, joke taken. Sharesies versus Rays versus Perla. I want to set up one of these in my wife's name to get her started, invested. Does anyone have pros and cons for each, please? 2, easy ETFs to use, Vanguard versus BetterShares. Does it matter? Thinking about VAS, VGS types. What do other people use? I'm happy with risk. We'll start with a few $1,000s and contribute weekly, monthly. My wife is 44, not currently working due to a medical issue. Want something we can set and check. Finally, any tips on getting my partner involved? Have sent her podcasts, which she said she will listen to, but hasn't. She listens to podcasts every day, but usually about how to get away with murder type things. Sigh. Thanks very much. Can't wait to hear back. Cheers.
Well, Dan.
Okay. I just want to say at the outset, forget question 1 and 2, shares versus Rays versus Perla. Forget to invest the investment options. They're just tactics. It's not strategy. That's solution mode. Imagine this, John. So you do running every day.
I do running, yeah. Is that
You
what
ran,
you call it?
so in, where are we? Portland. John ran to a pool yesterday and had a swim and ran back.
Did. Very refreshing.
Now, I don't know the situation, so I'll use it as an example. Could you imagine how it would be if you were married to your wife who wasn't doing daily runs and swims with you?
Yes.
You rocked up and said, hey, Amy, I've just purchased you some new running shoes and a road bike.
And some goggles.
And some goggles because I need to get you up to the fitness level that I'm at because that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
How would that go down?
Good analogy. Yeah. I
It is a
think-
good analogy.
I think, Dan, if you keep using the word slow on the uptake, you might not have a 44-year-old wife much longer. I think you can't bring them kicking and screaming to the fight.
This is, and Dan, look, I will give Dan the benefit of the doubt, okay? And we put the icing on thick here because we're creating entertainment podcast. Dan could be most sincere, trying to do things well. So I'm just going to park that. Now I'm going to get fun. There's bigger problems here, Dan. Like, let's just chill out because you're stepping in to, like, as a household, it might not be most suitable to set up the investment in the wife's name. Dan, you are not setting up an investment for your wife so she can learn. You need to both step back and say, as a household, how do we manage money? How do we invest for the future? We do this together.
Yeah.
Because I think it's more of an example of Mrs. Dan, you don't need to be in the spreadsheets and investing with me, but do you want to know high level that we build wealth?
Yeah.
Like it's bringing them on the journey.
Yeah, the beta shares and the sharesies and the onesies and all those, they're out of the conversation.
Just pump
right
her
now.
super, Dan.
Right.
If you want to, if you want to help your wife and invest for her, put it in a super fund.
Yeah, but I think
Or not,
I
don't.
think it goes even deeper than that, doesn't it? I think it's like we've actually got to step back here and have a good, solid conversation with each other and say, well, what do we want in 10 years? Like, and I'm happy to drive this, but let's stay aligned here, and otherwise we're going to be pushing and pulling, and it's not going to end well.
There are just so many well, not so many. The whole post is a bit like, this is not good. What's your view, Rach? We've just spewed a whole heap of stuff.
Oh, look, I'm trying to look at it in a positive light because a bit slow on the uptake's a little bit tough. But I think maybe she's not interested in that part of things.
Fine.
And it could be if you're not working and you're not earning money because of a medical issue. I'm guessing your wife might have some other things that are probably her priority at the moment.
Yeah, why are we investing if one person can't work at the moment?
I just feel like there might be a time for investing. You know, I'm pro-investing. I think it's a great thing to do, but I think it's got to be right for everyone in the right time for everyone in the journey. I know if I was on a medical leave, it might be my health might take priority over thinking about watching podcasts on investing.
Well, you just you just pause and build cash until they're living in an emergency. At the moment, my wife is not working because she's got health challenges.
Yeah.
We call that an emergency. And when there's an emergency, we pause everything, keep cash heavy, and then two things happen in these type of situations. In a few months' time or in a period of time, usually someone recovers, things go back to normal.
Yeah.
Or in a period of time, we work out the long-term prognosis, and if it is so-and-so can't work in a full-time capacity permanently, well, then we can adjust, go, okay, well, income has reduced, so then we adjust. So I just think, forget Ray's, Sharesies or Perla.
So a little bit in Dan's defence, I think what can easily creep into people's lives is we're seeing someone else over here do something that's pretty cool and we want to replicate that.
Yeah.
Or we've grown up in a situation where both in the couple have been on board and it's been smooth sailing and maybe he's not feeling that at the minute and he's a little bit lost. So benefit of the doubt, Dan. But I think, maybe step back, have a good, solid conversation. The medical issue is first priority, and what do we want long term? And I'm happy to lead that, but as long as I've got your support and we're on the same page.
And I've seen clients have conversations with their partner a year before they want to do something to plant the seed, knowing that their partner's going to take a long time to join them on that journey. Maybe she just needs some time.
Yeah.
I think Dan needs to read the room, to be honest, because look here, finally, any tips on getting my partner involved? I've sent her podcasts, which she said she will listen to, but hasn't. She does listen to podcasts every day, but they're usually true crime or insert thing
Can
here.
you ask if she listens to Crime Junkie? Because I am a fan.
But get this. If you're off work with a medical condition, I'm probably not heaps keen to listen to personal development podcasts.
Well, it's obviously not an interest of hers. So
imagine,
you can't push and scream.
You got Amy the road bike, right? Because she likes riding the yellow bike around with flowers on it down in the Toowoomba shops.
Yeah.
Both bikes.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean because she rides the bike down to get a coffee, doesn't mean she wants the next road bike.
No, doesn't want to ride up
Anyway,
Kosciuszko.
Dan, I'm turning it up for a bit of fun, Dan, but there's also a bit of read the room, maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's been of benefit to Dan and everyone else out there who likes listening to true crime.
Yeah, so, well, we might leave that there because we only had a half an hour booking at this little stand. Should we just do the after party here?
Let's do
Because John
it.
doesn't know the full story. So
I think he needs to know.
yeah, cool. Okay, we'll end the podcast there and we'll be back for the after party right now.
Any advice is general financial advice only, which does not take into account your objectives, financial situation, or needs. Because of that, you should consider if the advice is appropriate to you and your needs before acting on the information. If you do choose to buy a financial product, read the Product Disclosure Statement, PDS, and Target Market Determination, TMD, and obtain appropriate financial advice tailored to your needs. Simo Interactive Pty Ltd, the publisher of this podcast, and Glen James are authorised representatives of Money Sherpa Pty Ltd, which holds financial services license 451289. Opinions or comments from any guests on the podcast are theirs and not those of the host or the publisher or their respective license holders.
Okay, so Rach, this is your first after party to a podcast episode.
Maybe. I think we did an after party
We may have.
in my office years ago.
We probably did.
She hasn't done a campy.
I haven't done a campfire.
We haven't done a campfire chat. So basically, we are recording this in a different location than the live Fincon set. We're still up here at Fincon. And I think the reason why I wanted to tell this story is, one, it's pretty juicy. It's a bit wild. And secondly, when I put on my personal Insta account that I got the visa to the US, there was lots of questions. So I need to swing back around and answer that. So everyone's like, oh, what VGA, what'd you, lots of interest. So I think we should start with...
So 8 people reached out and said, are you okay?
A little more than 8, John. A little more. 9.
So how, let's go back to the start.
Yeah, so we'll go back to the start. John and Rach and anyone who usually comes up to the US does not need a visa.
No.
You do the ESTA, which is a visa waiver program, right?
Yes.
And you can't earn money on that. And because I usually get an ESTA, but this year at Fincon, just with all the crazy stuff you hear on the news about the borders and all that stuff, because I'm hosting one of the sessions today that both of you will miss, they're paying me, right?
In kind.
In kind. So I thought, I don't want to get to the border and get questioned, and then they open up the website and see me on the website and all that and turn me around. So I thought, I'm going to get an actual visa just to have the certainty to make sure there's no drama.
Is there a major cost in that?
$130 or something.
Okay.
It's not huge. By the time you pay the DHL costs to get the passport there and back and all that, under $200 probably.
Okay.
So I applied for a B1/B2 visa, which is similar to the ESTA, but it gives you a longer time here.
Yeah.
And you can't actually, quote unquote, earn money with that visa. So the way that the conference effectively are paying me is they're paying for my conference ticket. They are giving me a stipend. They're calling it a stipend to cover expenses.
Yeah.
A what?
A stipend.
What's a stipend?
Okay, Google that in your own time. Like
Covering
a
costs.
small payment
A
to
small
cover
fee
costs,
to
to
cover
cover
costs.
incidentals.
It's not meant to make profit. It's
Yeah.
meant to cover
It's
costs.
just cover costs.
A lot of
Small-
entertainers, speakers
Yeah.
sometimes.
Gotcha.
So I'm getting a stipend, hotel room, ticket, basically. And I'm like, all right, I just want to do this right way. So I applied. I did, and it's very confusing. I think next time I would recommend to anyone who wants to get a visa for the US, just go to an immigration lawyer and just pay and get it sorted out correctly. Anyway, so I did that. I qualified for an interview waiver at the embassy or the consulate in Sydney, sent the passport down, and then I got an email a week later saying my visa's been declined. I'm like, are you flipping serious? And that's a month out from coming here. I had to book an interview, so I went down, booked an interview, and I think the reason they declined it was I had lost a passport in the past. They'll just ask me lots of questions about the lost passport.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah, so that's why so I went in, and then he said to me, well, what do you need a visa for? I'm like, look, I'm going to this conference. They're not quote unquote paying me, but they're covering my expenses with a stipend. He's like, yep, all good. He goes, there you go, your visa's been approved. You'll get the passport back in a week. So I got the passport back 5 days before we flew out with the visa in it, which was awesome. I'm like, sweet. Get up to the States. Oh, and just so part of this saga fun story, it's some information. When we were checking in, so I bought Luke's ticket and Rach did the same via Qantas Sydney Portland return in the one ticket. I booked an international, my round the world ticket, and booked my internal separately.
Yeah.
So I just added on the LA to Portland ticket separately.
Yeah.
And we're all on the same flight, Luke, Rach, and I. So when we were checking in, and because Luke had 2 bags, one for his gear, the guy in Sydney's like, oh, I can put Luke's bag all the way through to Portland, but I can't do yours because you're not on it's a separate ticket. He's like, look, I'll go and chat. This is the Qantas guy. I'll chat to the supervisor to see if I can actually just do it. So what happened was he did my and Luke's 2 bags and my bags on my ticket in my name. So Luke theoretically didn't have luggage.
Yeah.
Glenn had 3 bags. And which is fine, right?
Huh?
So if you've been to LA, you get off, you got to collect your bag. If you're connecting, you turn right at the exit, put the bag in, recheck it, and then you don't have to carry your bag to the terminal and check it into the terminal.
Yeah.
So that's a piece of information that's pertinent to this saga.
It is pertinent.
Right. And I've almost lost my voice. So that's why.
You present in a few hours.
Yeah. And you leave in a few hours, both of you. So.
I don't think we'll be done by then.
No. I'm dragging this out.
Story. I've already
this
missed my
out.
part.
Yeah. Anyway, we get to LA. 3 of us. We stood in the line for 2 hours.
It was at least 2 hours.
It was at least 2 hours. Maybe it was just ridiculous. Usually it doesn't take me that long because I usually get off the plane first and don't have to wait for 300 people to walk past me.
Because when you're in 1A.
Yeah, so I had
You
to
had to wait for us cattle class people.
Yeah, I had to wait for these guys. And anyway, 2 hours. Got to the booth. The guy's like, why did you get a visa? And I'm like, oh, because I'm going to a conference. They're paying me a stipend. So I thought I would get this just so there was certainty before I came here. He's like, oh, he's looking. So, I need someone else to look at this. Oh, okay, sweet. And Rach and Luke had been through, and then he walks me over to this room in the corner. And I had this idea. I just knew that if you get interviewed there, it could be 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like I already knew that. And that's why I said to Rach and Luke, and they probably didn't. It was just all happened so fast. I'm just like, just go, leave me, save yourselves. Like, just go to Portland. I'll see you tomorrow.
You got to think, we planned to have 4 hours at the airport.
Yeah.
We're already 2 hours in
Yeah,
at
so
this
you only
point.
Yeah,
two
so
to
we
go. And
like
you'd
have
have to
40
board.
minutes
Yeah.
to go on board.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just save yourselves, guys. See you in Portland. Go.
So the
So-
bags.
We'll get to that. You're going to love it.
Right.
I go into this room. On the front door says no electronic devices. You go into this room and it's like a doctor's surgery. A couple of TVs playing. They take the security officer gives your passport to the other officer at the desk. They then give it to someone else and it goes in the little back section. There's some kiosks with glass. And on the back wall, there's a heap of Perspex slots. And they've got all these different passports there. And there's about 30 people in the room
Awesome.
waiting.
Wow.
Now, at that time, there was one person working in the 7 booths that were there.
Oh.
One was open.
Wow.
And I literally did the math. I was like, she's been over there for 15 minutes. There's one person. There's 30 people. I'm strapping in for the long term.
Buckle up.
Now, it was so savage. And I said to the person at the front desk, I'm like, oh, can you let me know how long I'm likely to be here? Because that's what everyone asks. Don't know, sit down. Could be fast, could be slow.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Anyone who took their phone out of their bag or their pocket, there was border security, put your phone away, like yelling at
Really?
people. They would not let you communicate with anyone outside that room.
Oh, wow.
There were grown men crying. There was a grown man who was crying because his wife and kid was downstairs and they wouldn't let him communicate with them.
That's a scary position to be in.
Yeah.
It was
Well, at least you're all speaking the same language.
well, but there was other people there where
Yeah.
English wasn't their first language.
Yeah.
You just could not imagine. And everyone's look on everyone's faces was just this stress.
Yeah.
Like everyone's sitting there.
Yeah. Because you're
freaking
thinking
out
the worst.
'cause no one's told you anything.
No.
In my mind, I'm like, am I going to Gitmo? Like, is this it? I'm going to some gulag in
Guantanamo Bay.
Guatemala. Like, it's crazy. And I was, an hour had passed and there were still people that I'd seen when I walked in, and people were coming and going faster, and maybe little small issues, they'll just call them over and give them their passport and they'd go. And I'm like, crap, like, what the hell? Why am I still here? And then 2 hours after sitting there, like, people would come in and ask, oh, where, you know, how long will I be here? Don't know, it could be 6 hours. Just sit down. Like,
I've got a connecting flight.
yeah, they don't care. And they said, this guy's like, you got bigger problems. We don't know if you're allowed into the USA yet. Like,
Yeah.
it's just this like thing of like power tripping
Power, yeah.
from a like low paid person with power
Yeah.
who's a piece of crap. Few of them. They've got this thing where border security, got to be probably tight and
Yeah.
mean
Yeah.
anyway.
Which you get.
Yeah. And then there's this other layer of, you know, potentially a Trump White House putting the screws on him. Like, so it was just the worst experience. And then 2 hours into it, I'm like, oh, far out. Like, everyone that I see, they've gone. Like, it's a new batch of people here. And then I went up and, like, my phone's ringing in my pocket. You tried to call. I just had to.
About 27 times.
Yeah, and then, so what happened, the airline representatives would come up. So someone would come up, oh, who came in from Japan on, you know, JAL? Like, yeah, we got your bag. It's just out the front door. So they just move them from the carousels. So this guy came up from, like, the Qantas. He's like, oh, anyone here, QF11 from Sydney? I'm like, yep. He goes, oh, I'll go and grab your bag. He goes, have you got business colleagues downstairs? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, can you tell them to just leave my bag, bring it up, and just go to Portland? He's like, yep, no worries. Anyway, so he goes down. Did you see him a second time?
No, so I saw him. I sent him up,
Yes.
but I didn't. I was gone with your bag by the time I never saw that man
That's
again.
right. And this is like, so this is where I was trying not to freak out. So he came up like 5 minutes later. He's like, I can't find them and I can't see your bag anywhere.
Oh, no.
Now, this is where the bag story comes in.
Right.
I'm thinking, if I get back, like, if they don't let me in, I'm going back to Sydney.
Yeah. With 3 bags.
No. Potentially with no bags because they've checked the bags to Portland.
But aren't they sitting by the carousel?
No.
No, Luke and I took all the bags.
So they took all the bags
But where are you at this stage?
downstairs at the carousel.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I was thinking, what if we need to move our bags
Yeah.
from one place to another? So I thought the best course of action is to take Glenn's bag.
Yeah.
He either runs onto this flight,
Yeah.
but he can't do it with a bag if he has to check a bag because that's
No.
the first thing that closes, or potentially he gets a later flight, but Luke and I would already
Bag.
be
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Portland with
Yeah.
all the bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is where my anxiety was going through the roof because I knew how the system and the world works when it comes to airlines and bags because I'm a plane nerd.
Yeah.
And I've almost been screwed before with bags and stuff. So he comes back up and says, I can't see them. I can't see any bags. I think they may have checked the bags and gone. So I'm thinking if I get turned away and have to go back to Australia, my bag is going to be in Portland, and I'm going back with my backpack. So that was the one thing.
Yeah.
The second thing, the bags, remember, are checked in under Glen James.
Yeah.
Rach and Luke are on the plane. If Glen isn't boarded
Yeah.
and his bags are on the plane, they will take the bags off the plane because the passenger isn't there.
Yeah.
So they're in Portland. Luke's 2 bags and my bags
Yeah.
don't get on the plane.
Yeah. And you,
And then
you could
I'm
be
in
off to
Sydney and there's 3 bags left in LA.
Yeah.
That's what was going through my mind.
Yeah. We had enough time to think about that.
I had plenty of
Lots
time.
of time.
Scenarios.
And then I was thinking, how does it work? Do they let me have a computer to book a seat, or do they have some arrangement
Yeah.
with the airlines?
That's what I was thinking.
It's like, oh, we've got this Aussie, we've got an arrangement with Qantas or American. They just get given an economy seat back down, like next flight out.
Yeah.
Economy.
Like-
yeah, and I was
like a
freaking.
criminal.
Yeah, and I was
You were freaking out
I'm
about
like,
going economy.
yeah, I'm like, I don't want to go back. Can I pay for business? I don't care. Like, I don't want to be, because it literally just got off a flight. I'm like, if I had to go back, cram between 2 people, I would be so sad.
Yeah.
No
That's it.
luggage.
There's only one seat left and it's
Yeah,
right
it's
next to the toilet.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, they called Glen James. So I came up, and thankfully there was this girl, she's probably in her 30s, like really kind. Hey, how are you? She's like, so tell me about this visa. And I said, hey, I'm going to a conference. I got an invite. She goes, yeah, I've got up. And she's like, oh, nice jacket. They had the Fincon website up.
Ooh.
I was on the front page of the website.
That velvet jacket.
The velvet
Yeah,
jacket.
I like
They're
that
like, oh, nice jacket. I'm like, okay. I said, now, the reason I got this is because I just wanted some certainty that I had issued a visa after I'd told them they are paying me a stipend. It's not a fee that I'm charging. It's to cover costs. They're reimbursing my badge, my ticket, because I'd already planned to go to the conference.
Yeah.
And they have given me the hotel room or something. It's like, okay, cool. She's writing all these notes and she goes, look, the B1, B2 visa, you actually can't receive anything. You can't get gifted in kind.
Which is the visa you've got.
Yeah. And I said, I literally told the guy at the Sydney consulate that I'm receiving a stipend to cover expenses.
Yeah.
And this is where I knew how to win friends and influence people. I think I knew I was on the right track here. She's like, well, I'm looking at the notes here. The guy in Sydney's written that you weren't receiving anything. I said, I told the guy I'm getting a stipend. And I'm like, he probably didn't know what stipend meant.
Who knows what a stipend
Like John.
Yeah,
And she's
who
like,
would?
yeah, they're idiots down at that consulate. Like, just like, because
She
she's got
said
the
that?
control. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, oh, they're idiots. Like, and I'm like,
And that can also go the other way if you get the wrong person.
and that's right.
That could have gone very differently.
Like, what if I couldn't speak the language? What if it was a
Yeah.
different person
Yeah.
who had a point to prove? So she's writing all this stuff down. And I said to her, look, I'm here a week. For me, it's not about the money. I was already planning to go. She goes, yeah, I think I can see that you're already going anyway. I said, I've got the CEO of the conference's email. I'm happy to write an email now. We can call Jess. We can say that I'm not receiving any money. Don't pay me. It's not about the money. Like, trust me. And she goes, all right. So I was writing. She goes, look, I need to go and talk to a supervisor. I can't make this call because at the moment you don't actually have a visa to go into the US.
So you're still stressing at this
Oh,
stage.
mate, like, because it's not only like just going home. Remember, next week or tomorrow, I'm going to New York, then London, Paris, Spain, back to London. And I'm like, if I get turned around, like, I'm throwing so much money. Like, it's just the debacle, the whole thing.
Yeah, there's no refunds.
And she's like, based on you probably need to get an O visa or something like this. And she goes, anyway, so she went over and she was gone like 15 minutes and there's just no sense of urgency. Like, you noticed that at borders, like no sense of urgency.
So has time passed where you've missed a flight now?
Yeah, we'll get to that. But
Yeah, I'm just wary
yeah.
of the time, that's all.
yeah.
We don't want to miss our flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking
That's
of
right.
flights.
Yeah, that's right. So effectively, she goes, look, we'll talk to the supervisor. we actually think Sydney shouldn't have issued this visa to you. So because of that, and because you'd already planned to come, we're going to let you through. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And she said, look, I'm making notes on the system here. But she says, you just can't mess around with this. Like, it was literally a miracle that I got someone who was kind-hearted, who was nice, who wasn't on this power trip.
Yeah. And you didn't
And
look
you
like
could genuinely see that you
Yeah.
tried to do the right thing, which I
Yeah.
think is important in those circumstances.
Yeah. And so that was kind of like, all right, thank you. So she stamped the passport. She goes, I've just made a note because if you come back and it's not, they will turn you around.
Yeah.
Like straight up. So that was kind of then. Anyway, that's part one of the saga. And this is where I want people to understand a bit about travel and how the system works. Because I go downstairs, Rachel's like, yeah, we missed our flight.
We missed our flight because we had planned to get it. We just missed it
oh,
separately.
so you could have got on it.
We could have got on it. We should have got on it. But we ran to the gate as they were closing.
Oh no.
So really, our bags, all of our bags,
Yeah.
Glenn's, Luke's and mine, are now on this flight that none of us are on.
Oh, jeez.
I thought bonus, now we can fly with Glenn.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought you didn't even get up to the gate. I thought you just went, oh, we're not going to have
And
time, check the bag.
Did
And
they didn't see you running. They did, and they said no.
They're like, I've closed this now.
Oh wow.
so anyway, Rachel
30
texted.
seconds.
Yeah, she's like, oh, she's all these messages from Rage. And at this point, I thought she still had the bags.
So the bags are on the plane.
And
But wouldn't they, if you weren't on the plane, same thing, bags underneath, they should have come off.
yeah, I don't know. That's what I thought. I don't know.
Oh, the woman that we spoke to at the gate, I explained what happened, and she was really lovely. She just gave Luke and I tickets to the next
She wasn't
flight.
lovely enough to get you on the plane.
It was. She didn't have that authority because
Right.
she closed the door. So she said, "I'll get you both on the next flight." I said, "Oh, could we change Glenn's to this flight as well?" She goes, "He'll have to do that himself."
Yeah.
But I can. She knew. She goes, "The bags will be there when you get there."
Right, okay.
So anyway, I get out of the airport. I go to the Alaskan Air counter because Rachel's like, yeah, they just put on the next flight. It's easy. I'm like, all right, sweet. Now, remember in Sydney, he had to, and because in Sydney, he's like, you'll have to get your Alaskan Air boarding pass from the website
Yeah.
or Alaskan when you get there
Yeah, okay.
because he overrode the system.
Seems straightforward.
Yes.
So you didn't have your boarding pass. Because we had our Alaskan boarding pass already.
That's right, where I didn't because
Yeah.
mine wasn't on the same ticket.
Yeah.
Do you need to pause something? Are you all right?
The batteries have gone flat.
This is the art of turning a big story.
Hey, you can drag anything out if you want.
Yeah, we will. We'll put let's put another marker in here and we'll be back right after this. Okay. So I get to the counter and I'm like, hey, I've got held up in immigration. They gave me a little note.
Yeah.
Like a late note for
Late
school.
note saying
Glenn
he was
was
held
in
up.
immigration.
Here's how you get out. Then I said, can I please change my flight to the 9:15 flight? My colleagues are on that. And they're like, we can't log in and change your flight. You've got to go back to where you booked it,
Oh, no.
which is with Qantas. Then I'm like, here we go.
No.
So I'm like, okay, great. And then I remembered, friends, I booked the flight from LA to Portland with Qantas points. Now, I've been almost caught out from this before, but if you book a flight with Qantas points and you miss the flight,
Yeah, no refunds.
well, you could, but the thing is, if the next flight doesn't have any spare reward seats, you're not getting on it. So I called Qantas. I'm like, blah, 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 and they're like, yeah, there's no reward seats on the 9:15 flight. You're going to have to pay. And I'm like, and I was like, all right, well, I've got you on the phone. I will, can I just get a refund of my points? Like my 36,000 points. It's like, oh yeah, well, no, we've actually got to cancel it. And there's a 6,000 point cancellation fee. I'm like, nah. And I'm like, I'm literally at the airport. I've got evidence. And she's like, can you email the ticket to get the 6,000, like, so we can do it, or can we talk to an Alaskan representative? So I go over to Peter, like, Peter, can you talk to this lady from Qantas? He tells her, and she's still like, yeah, we're still going to need proof. I'm like, I can email it, but I'm on my laptop. The tethering isn't working because I've got the dual SIM in.
Yeah.
And because I was on the phone to her with the Australian voice line, the data SIM wasn't working. And Rachel's like texting me, oh, it's just really easy. They'll just change it over.
About 117
Yeah.
texts.
Yeah. It's like, just easy. They'll do it. And I'll just write back, it's complicated. like, and then,
Why is this so hard for you, Glenn?
so,
You need a female to do that.
I was about to walk down.
Yeah.
yeah. And then I couldn't even go up and sit up with them and organise the flight because you
Nah.
need the board pass to get through security.
Yeah.
And I just said to the Qantas lady, I'm like, look, can you please just do it? I'm having a really hard time. And it's only 6,000 points. She's like, yeah,
I'm
right.
about
I'll
to cry
do it.
like that other guy.
Yeah. I'm like, look, can you just do it? Help me out. And then I had to pay a one-way ticket from LA to Portland on your flight. It was $400 US.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You weren't
Yeah.
ready to talk about that on
No,
Monday.
No, that's right. So when I finally got it sorted, and the funniest thing, this is the first time this has ever happened to me. Go through the screening thing,
Went
and
off.
I look at the little computer and the little like person with the outline. There's these red squares right in my crutch. I'm like, what the hell? And the guy's like, hey, I need to
Can I
pat
feel
you
your
down.
crutch?
He's like, I need to pat you down in some sensitive areas. Would you like to go over somewhere private, or are you happy to do it here? I'm like, look, I'm happy to do it here. Just no eye contact. Like, and,
Just don't hold too long.
yeah. And then he's like, all right, stand with your legs this way. And he's
Yeah.
like up the thigh and like
Yeah.
palm down the, like, and it was just like, oh my gosh, could this, anyway, so they're at the bar and I walked up, I'm like, I just need a shower in the
Being
lounge.
violated.
Like, I just need a shower. I
Your
walked up and I
face.
almost was like to them, they were like, how'd you go? And I was like, put my hand out like, I can't explain what's just happened over the last 3 hours.
So let's date stamp this. So it's been 3 hours, has it?
Yeah, we
Like,
haven't seen each other
You
for
thought
3 hours.
nearly 6, but it's been halved. It's only taken you 3.
Well, no, because we were both in line for like 2 hours and 15 minutes. Then we got separated.
Yeah, but you were apart for 3 hours.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but Luke and I managed to get some food,
Which is a long
and
time
didn't
in
go through the
airport.
same
And-
experience as Glenn.
And missed the flight.
Yeah. And then I'm like, what are you guys doing here? And I'm saying to Luke, like, look, number one rule with traveling, you never separate a bag from a person because
Yeah.
stuff happens. And then they're like, oh, the bags are in Portland. Oh, no. So they said, no, the bags are checked. I'm like, oh, sweet. I didn't
On
know
the
the
previous
bags were
flight.
actually in Portland waiting. I'm like, far out. If that went sideways. So
Yeah,
it
just
was,
rolling around the carousel. When did you get into it?
oh,
They've
mate.
gone to some desk at midnight. We just
Oh, wow.
It was just like, yeah, so you always keep bags with people.
Yeah.
noted.
And it's probably more of a, if you've got connecting flights internationally and you're using points, you might get screwed. Because it happened to me once when I was leaving the States with a return business class flight with points. I missed the flight and the only way I could change it, luckily, the next day, there was reward seats for business with American Air, not Qantas.
Right.
If not, I would have had to pay for a ticket.
Yeah.
So reward
dicey.
points are good for flying until you get delayed and you got to pay.
So did you and Luke have to buy another ticket?
No, she just changed ours over, no cost,
No
no
fee.
stress.
Wow.
Just,
was
sorry you
nice
missed
of her.
this.
And,
Let's just
and
put
that's
you on
kind of
the
like
next one.
also
Jetstar wouldn't have done that.
No.
a lesson, you know, the only reason I didn't have the full flight because I booked my round the world ticket in one with the travel agent. I'm like, I'll just do the internals myself.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Logistics, huh?
Yeah.
And when we got here,
Sorry?
we did arrive
and we did
Yeah.
arrive
Yeah.
all together.
all together.
Yeah, no, it's
We're pretty much done now anyway, Luke. But yeah, it was it just was the most inhumane experience I've had.
Yeah, look, you would have been stressed out of your brain, as would most people.
Well, to be honest, the new Glen, after all the work I've done like in the last couple of years, I actually wasn't that stressed.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm like, I can't actually control this.
Yeah.
Like
No.
it would not matter if, think of the most famous Australian person that you know, like insert, you could be the most popular rich person ever, but no one knows who you are there and no one cares.
No.
So nothing matters.
No.
Like it actually, so I'm like, well, I can't control this.
No.
I'm not getting worked up and anxious and stressed based on literally something I can't control. So I was just kind of sitting there breathing and doing some mindfulness.
Meditating.
Box breathing.
Yeah, like just doing that. And
Deep breaths.
it was
But,
just really, and then on the news, they had like, because the news was playing, they were like, yeah, Trump's turned up ICE agents in LA again. And there was
Yeah.
like ICE arrests on the news. And I'm sitting here. And for the smallest percentage of a situation, you could not imagine a family who maybe the husband or wife goes to work that day
Yeah.
and doesn't come home
Yeah.
because they're being scooped up. Like
Oh, yeah.
this is literally a room, not allowed any phones, any electronics.
No.
They check you before you go to the bathroom, make sure you don't have your phone in your pocket, mate, put it up. They yell at you if you had your phone.
Yeah.
Can I just go and, nah. Literally, they couldn't stop me getting messages with the bad guy.
Yeah.
That was the only
been
way.
detained. Yeah.
And I think it probably goes to, particularly if you are traveling in a group like this situation, maybe have a bit of a plan at any airport, any country. All right, what's the strategy if one of us gets held up?
yeah.
Yeah.
Is everyone waiting
Yeah.
6-7 hours?
Yeah.
Or leave the person? I don't know. But it was such an anomaly. For the thousands of people there was, maybe the 2 hours that I was in that room, of the thousands of people that got in, there was probably only 60 people, 70
Yeah.
people. So
Yeah,
very
small
low percentage.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Did the stipend cover all of your time?
No.
Because I think about that.
Yeah.
Is it stipend?
Stipend.
I'm thinking about stipend and all of this. It would have been much better at the start just to be like, no.
Well, I should have pretty
Yeah.
much just said I'm here for a conference. And that was the circular thing. If you got someone who's got a bit cute, like, oh, what conference? Pull up the website. Oh, you're on the front page. You're getting paid, are you?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was
No,
just,
I'm just a volunteer in this world. I
Yeah.
give.
like, probably should have done that.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
think-
that's, yeah, as you said, you the 1% chance where someone asks you and they dig
Well, I just
deeper.
wanted the certainty
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Just
and
in
in the
and
end,
that
it
was-
became very uncertain.
Yeah. Well, I was, yeah.
And when I arrived in LA, this is the other thing. Amy's messaged me because I obviously was on the plane, didn't have message on it. She's like, "Did you get through customs?" I'm like, "Well, no, not yet." I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "Well, Glenn just got detained." I'm like, "Hang on,
Yeah,
a
'cause
minute."
I put a
and then
story
you
up.
messaged me saying, Did your flight get cancelled? I'm like, what's going on here? Like, so I'm sitting there thinking the same thing. I'm going to be detained as well. And then I thought, no, Glenn's visa wasn't my visa. Like, yeah. So anyway,
No, the only reason because I sent you the email with all our flights, which was QF11, and then when we're at the airport, I'm like, oh, John's at the airport. Then I was like, oh, I'll just see, Googled QF11, and it said cancelled. I'm like, don't tell me his flight's being cancelled, but you're on the American. So anyway,
which I thought I was on Qantas, but the old code.
So there
Anyway,
you go.
all right.
I don't think if you're a tourist coming up here, it's probably fine. It was just, I just thought it's not technically paid because it's a reimbursement.
Well, if old mate in Sydney had some competence about him,
Well, they would have just, that was the thing. They said Sydney made an error,
would
so
have
we're going to let you
created a
through.
visa. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think next time, I might even need to see an immigration lawyer about next time if I'm going to get paid up here, because I'll come back next year and who knows. Anyway, you've been real friends.
Good
Have you
chat.
guys had a good week?
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
It's been really different.
Yeah.
Where is it next year?
Don't know yet. I do know it's on the West Coast. So it'll be
California.
LA, California maybe. maybe San Fran.
Having missed one flight this week already, I'm going to hightail it out of here and make sure I make my flight now.
Yes,
I need to give you stuff for your bag. Are you leaving now? Right now? Like 12?
Soon. I haven't packed yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
I might give.
I'm going to get there early.
What time are you leaving?
I'll leave here about 3.
Okay.
3:30.
I might, because I've got to go to I've got my call times at 3:30, so I might give one of you some stuff to put in my bag. To put in your bag. All right, bye.
Bye.